Welcome back to the Travel Coach Network podcast. It is I, Sahara Rose DeVore, the founder of the Travel Coach Network and then creator instructor of the Travel Coach Certification Program. Today I have Scott Kobayashi. He is a credit and travel coach. He and his wife started their credit card journey in 2015. As a married couple, they really enjoy traveling and going on adventures together, but living in Hawaii, the cost of living can be really a barrier to travel. And so they began their journey of research and discovering cheaper ways to travel. After getting financially educated, they earned their first flights for free within the first year. Ever since then, they have earned dozens of staycations for free in Hawaii and have gotten even more free flights. They've even accrued over 2.1 million reward points and redeems for over $65,000 in free travel. Scott, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy and excited to have you and to dive deeper into all of this.
Thank you, Sahara. I'm so excited to be on your podcast. I'm a big fan. I just appreciate all that you do. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's so many questions I have, but let's get started. And first, share with us, where did your love of travel even stem from?
Great question. In high school, we had a class trip to China, and I've traveled with my family before that to the just California, Nevada, Las Vegas, and it was really fun. Great, precious family memories. But the first time I traveled outside the country, it just blew my mind. Literally, like walking on the Great Wall and just experiencing what I read in the textbooks in real life, it just made me open my eyes and my heart to traveling the world. And that in my small bubble in Hawaii, like life is great, it's awesome, we live in paradise, but there's so much of the world to discover through travel. And so that really piqued my interest and opened up my mind to the world of travel.
Yeah, and I know that you also started traveling with your wife, and that's what got you guys into learning more about how to travel for free. What does travel mean to you and your family?
Oh, it's super important in the way that I grew up with my family. I have two other siblings, and we all would always go on trips every year. And these are memories that I will never let go of. And so for me, part of my goal is to find a way to, pay for these travel expenses, right? It can get really expensive. And I want to have these memories with my kids. I have two kids right now. They're both under 2 years old. So life is crazy. We can't really fly that much right now, but I'm saving points. We're doing staycations often here in Hawaii, and we really want to just build great memories together.
That's amazing. You mentioned how that you and your wife became financially educated on credit card and travel hacks. How did you do that? What did you read? What did you research? What did that process look like for you?
Great question. As you introduce, life in Hawaii is very expensive. So much, expenses that are going up, inflation going on right now. And for me, it really started just with a conversation with a friend. He showed me his first Chase card, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And he's like, "Hey, like I earned miles, like good miles, using this credit card." And at the time, I had this Barclay card, and it was really good. It had a great sign-up bonus, but it really got me thinking. It's more to it than just getting a good sign-up bonus or just getting one card, but there's a system, there's a strategy in what we do. And so that piqued my interest. After that, I'm just like everyone. I tried to search every YouTube video possible. I paid for courses so I can understand this game so much better. And that's what opened it. And now I'm like helping teach families in Hawaii and across the country how to leverage credit to travel for free. And like you shared earlier, it saved me over $60,000. And I have it all accounted for. Like, wow, I pay, just the annual fee for this card, but I earned so much more. I get so much back using these credit card points and miles. And so that's just kind of how I got into it. Now it's like, it's blessing me, but I'm trying to bless a whole bunch of people in Hawaii with the same knowledge.
Yeah, one of my friends lives in Maui, and I went to
Oh,
visit her
wow.
one time. Luckily, I got to stay at her place because I
Nice.
realized just how expensive it is. And she's from Maui, and she loves travel as well, and that's how we first got connected. But I learned through her just how, difficult and
Ooh,
pricey it can be just to get
yes.
off of the island, just to go to the mainland and then fly wherever your destination is. And so I
Yeah.
cannot imagine. I think those in the States on the mainland really take for granted some of
Yeah.
the cheap flights that they can find. And you were talking about, you mentioned that Barclays, that's a card that I use now. I am by no means a credit card travel hack type of person. I have flown on, gotten some free flights and very cheap flights with my miles. But I remember when I started traveling, in 2010, I had no concept of that. I had no idea. But
Yeah.
then as I was traveling, I had met some people who did do that. I said, well, how did you get to travel so much? And I remember one guy in particular told me about using credit card points. And I remember thinking, like, I wish I had learned about this a lot sooner, because who knows how many points I completely missed out on and how many free flights. Because I was a budget traveler. If I can get free
Yeah,
flights,
totally.
yeah, please. Um, but I know that you mentioned that you and your wife, after getting financially educated on all of this, you actually got your first free flights within the first year. How did you make that happen?
Big part of the credit card game and the strategy is getting the sign up bonuses. And so we like to teach people creative ways to reach that spend. Oftentimes some of the bigger cards have like a $5,000 minimum spend in 3 months. And that's a lot. That's out of budget, really. And so we just try to teach ways to kind of accelerate that, so that you can kind of move money forward, maybe buy some Costco gift cards, some grocery gift cards, just to reach that spend and get that chunk. It's so important to get that sign up bonus. I mean, 100,000 points coming your way, you gotta get that. And what we teach at the Credit Hacker, one of the main fundamental laws or rules is you must pay everything on time and in full. It doesn't make sense if you're having outstanding debt. The banks are taking advantage of you. They're making interest off you. That's not credit hacking. That's just losing. Okay. And I just think we try to teach people, hey, try to take advantage of your credit cards, pay everything in full, and then you can earn all these points. And that's how we got our first trips immediately, just by reaching the sign up bonuses in the first 3 months. And that's so key to what we teach.
Yeah, I've seen so many really good offers, especially like
Mhm.
when I'm on flights and stuff too. We talked about just how pricey Hawaii can be. My cousin
Yeah.
also, he works in the Navy in Waikiki. So when I took my
Oh,
mom there to
nice.
go visit him one time, he's been there for over 20 something years. But we stayed in hostels because just the prices themselves
Oh,
are
yeah.
still really
Ooh.
expensive. But you said that you and your wife have taken a lot of staycations in
Yeah.
Hawaii and gotten, really great deals or for free. How did you make that happen?
Yeah. So we'd use the correct type of points for certain hotels. I like to find the intersection between high quality and price effectiveness. And so I have a list of hotels that I kind of keep watch for because I know they're high quality, but sometimes they take a dip in price. And for us, we love the Hyatts. Hyatts are a great brand of hotels. There's three on Oahu, and they always bring value. And with our Chase points, we can get them fairly cheap. Sometimes like 12,000 points, maybe 15,000 points, but it's a really good return on investment. And in the points game, we have this acronym called CPP, that's cost per point. And we really try to see how much value we're getting when we redeem our points at that time. And usually Hyatt points can be worth 1.5 cents all the way up to 3.5 cents, 4 cents, depending on what's available. And so we just have an eye out for certain hotels. I think next month, well, we're working on a sign-up bonus currently, and Marriott just had this amazing promo where if you reach the sign-up bonuses, you get 5 free nights, and each night valued up to 50,000 Marriott points. So essentially, it's 250,000 Marriott points from just meeting the sign-up bonus, which is with sign-up spend, which is spend 5,000 in 3 months, and you'll get 250,000 point value of what the 5 free nights. And that's where we're gonna go next. We're gonna go to one of the Marriotts in Waikiki, and then spend the other half on Ko'olina on the west side. And it's a staycation, and essentially out of pocket expense is only the annual fee, which is $95. So 5 free nights at a Marriott, $95. Sounds like a good deal. So
Yeah, tell me about it. Um, how long has it taken you guys to accrue over 2.1 million reward points? That's a lot.
yeah, it's taken, yeah, from 2015. It's just, we haven't been earning a whole bunch of points all the time, but just slow and steady.
Yeah.
And so maybe about 6, 7 years total. But the way I teach our clients is just to just to build a long-term system to really partner with your everyday spend. On one end, like, yes, I sometimes do things to accelerate point earning. Maybe if it's just doing tricks and hacks for that. But I really teach my clients to just say, hey, okay, find what your normal everyday spend is, your business expenses, find the right credit card that produces the most ROI, and just do it. And most families here, with just their normal everyday budget, without going over and beyond, they can earn 100, 150,000 points, 200, 300,000 points a year just by buying groceries, going to the supermarket, restaurants, all that stuff. It adds up.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can add up. Just living, we are spending money all the time. So why not
Mhm.
use it in a way that's going to benefit you in the world of travel too, right? And that's what
Yep.
often people don't think about. Um, is there a deal or an offer or a flight or a vacation in particular that was one of your biggest wins that you got for,
Oh man.
on your
Yeah.
hacks?
Oh, this was probably it's sad because it's not there anymore because of COVID. But my wife and I, we got to, in 2019, we got to go to Japan. Hawaii, flight from Hawaii to Japan is about 7.5 hours. Japan's a huge destination for people from Hawaii. And I think those tickets round trip in first class are normally about $4,500. We paid 70,000 points round trip from Hawaii to Japan in first class. And it was, for me, I think it was one of the best trips we ever took because it was such a great deal. We stayed in the lounges, we got just great service on the airplane. And for 70,000 points, some sign up bonuses, you can make more than that.
Right. It's really
Yeah,
not
right
that
there, you
much.
know? Yeah. The prices changed because of COVID, but there's a lot more sweet spots that are there. That same airlines that we use for that spot, I think it's 50K for first class one way to Europe from the
Mhm.
West Coast. So still great value right there.
Yeah.
But that was for me one of our best redemptions in value, and great trip that we took. We took that trip before we had the kids, and we just got to spend really quality time traveling together.
Yeah. What people don't realize is that you can really get some amazing flights. I know for myself, when I started um, actually like caring about travel points and using my travel credit card, I remember I got a flight because a lot of the flights you just pay the tax on it. And so
Yep.
I remember getting a flight from Chicago to Argentina for like $15. And then I got a flight
Wow.
from Peru to back to Chicago for like 25 first class, $25 first class.
Ooh.
It was crazy. I was like, this is
Yeah.
nothing. So I always tried to save my points for like the long hauls, like the really
Yeah.
expensive, because those
Yep.
flights are to go from the
Oh
States to
man.
Argentina is expensive.
Yeah.
But people don't realize like what you can get if you follow all this. And that's why I love
Wow.
having you on here to share some of those tips and some advice. Um, what made you, I know you call yourself a travel credit and travel coach. What made you go from just being like a, I don't know what you call it, credit travel hacker yourself to wanting to help others?
Yeah. I guess a simple way to put it is like our life, my life and my family have just been so blessed. I think we've just been really faithful and committed people. And at a certain point, you just come to realize, like, man, like we're okay, like on one end, and I have a business as well. Like you could keep earning and building your business, which is totally great. But if there's more than life than just making a lot of money. There's more than life than even just traveling. And for me, I live by the virtue and the hope that I can help other people. And so for us and our family, we have a great life. I mean, we're very blessed financially, relationally, all the above. But we want to, at a certain point, you have to make a decision. Okay, we're good. Like we're gonna continue to be okay. Like our needs are taken care of. But what about our neighbors? What about the people of Hawaii? What about those people that aren't taken care of? Or don't have that generational line of blessing? What can you do? And for us, we really feel that conviction to really focus on the families of Hawaii. I know a lot of my friends are okay. They've been provided. They have great jobs, but there's so many more families here that need help, whether it's financially, relationally, spiritually, motivationally, whatever it is. we really feel like that's what pivoted to just, okay, I'm going to earn points for myself. Like that's cool and all, but there's more purpose in meeting to helping other people. And that's why we've just really focused a lot of our services to just help people get educated. And it goes beyond travel and points. It's about budgeting. It's about buying a house in Hawaii. Like that's a great way for generational wealth. All the above, financial literacy. And I think travel hacking and credit hacking is a way to just kind of, it's like icing on the cake. It's like you save up for the most important things, but also you can earn points on the side, a different type of currency while you're doing all these things, and it can support your travel. And so I can just envision just families that are just struggling from day to day, save up all these points to go on a dream trip, and then the father's like, oh man, like it was all paid by points, and I just use financial literacy and discipline to achieve that. So that's my heart. That's our family's heart. We really believe that. My wife and I are on the same page on that. And that's why we are really focusing a lot and just helping people, creating free content, talking with people, consulting people. And that's where we're at today.
I love that. Yeah, I think if you are finding, if there's some, I agree with you on that. How do I put this into words? Like, I feel like when you are blessed with so many things, like you mentioned, it's never a bad idea to see how you can expand that into others. And that's really why I started the Travel Coach Network. When I started my
Wow.
wellness travel coaching business, I created that because I was like, there's a whole world of travelers out there who know things that I don't know. And there's a whole world of travelers who are looking
Hmm.
for the answers to questions that I don't have
Yeah.
and I can't answer. So building that bridge. And I think businesses like that, or I know businesses like that, when they're built from the heart and they're
Yeah.
established with core values that have true purpose and meaning, those really are the most successful. And like you said, it's not always about finances and to equal success, but longevity, heart, you wake up doing
Yeah.
what you love every single day. So
Yep.
it really makes a huge difference in business. And I hope everyone who has a business, of no matter what kind it is, it has to
Hmm.
come from the heart first, right? It's going to keep
I
you
totally
going.
agree. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
100% agree.
what does coaching look like in your business? What does a coaching methods look like working with your clients?
Hmm. Yeah, and obviously I'm so new to this coaching industry, right? And obviously it's about managing first time because coaching really does take time. So in this industry, I think I have a free PDF which helps kind of streamline like the one-on-one coaching. But if people want more, I really ask them just kind of I envision with them, what do you see for you and your family? Where do you guys want to go in the next 5 years? What kind of hotels you want to stay at? And I just ask these questions. It's more so just me listening to them. Um, what kind of travel do they like? Do they want to save up for like really cheap hotels, or they want to stay at someplace luxurious? And just listen first, and then I just kind of in my mind have like a template, like okay, like I think I know what strategy will be best for you. Ask them some more questions. Okay, like what is your normal everyday spend look like? What's your kind of your budget? What's your budget for annual fees per year? And then we just kind of all piece it together, and I give them a strategy. And there's a lot of great strategies out there. The one I teach the most is the chase one, because it's the easiest and it's the most easiest to use. And but there are way more other strategies. And when I mean strategies, it's a collection of cards working together to earn points quickly and redeem them to the right transfer partners. And so, but yeah, I first listen, I think, I feel what's going on, and then I just implement different strategies that will best suit them for their travel needs.
Yeah, because that's really the foundation of coaching in the first place, is asking the right questions and then
Yeah.
listen. Because that's a difference between coaching and advising or consulting, is you're not telling people what they're looking for. You're just asking the right
Hmm.
questions to pull those answers from within them, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, and making them think outside the box, or having them think beyond of what they could think is possible for themselves too. So it's really, embodied by a coach. And I can sense that you do that with your clients. Can you share do you have two of your best tips for those who are thinking about learning about this and where to get started or what to do?
Yeah. Well, I have that free PDF.
Mhm.
You can attach that link there. It just gets you it helps create a overall view of how to do this. So one tip is don't just chase the sign up bonuses. So often we see big numbers, 80,000, 100,000, 120,000. Oh my gosh. But really, all points are not created the same. They have different values. And so this PDF will help you see that, like, okay, like some points are worth more than others, you know? And I would say that's my first tip off the top of my head. Like, hey, don't chase the sign up bonuses. Really create a strategy. And first, where do you want to go and how often? You know, like think down the road first and then work back to, okay, which credit cards best suit my needs? And I would say that would be one tip that I would give is, yeah, don't chase the sign up bonuses. I think another one would be I think it would be, this is just a newer tip, and whether it is through coaching or paying for award software, it does save you a lot of time. I think that's the benefit of being connected with a group or a network. Finding award flights can take sometimes hours, you know, and you're just finding, okay, I want to get the most value for my points. And so that's why I have a client network where if you are a client of mine, I will help you. I invested in some of this software so I can do it for you. But if you want to be part of a network or a group, you can just go find a software that can help streamline and accelerate the award flight search for you. So I would say those are my two tips. Don't chase the sign up bonuses and really invest into some software or invest into a group that will bring value to you in your flights.
Those are really great tips. And I'm going to link that PDF that you mentioned in the show notes for everyone.
Awesome. Nice.
As we wrap up here, two last things. Is there a fun fact about yourself? Doesn't have to be business or travel related that you could share with our listeners.
Yeah, a fun, sad fact is, well, I grew up in Hawaii my whole life, surrounded by some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, but I can't swim.
Oh, really?
I go in the water. I do my best. Like I love the beaches. I love the water. I sometimes go into deep water when we go like cliff jumping, but I just suck at swimming. And so like, you know, like
Okay.
I'm the guy that's just like literally trying to doggy paddle just to survive. But it doesn't stop me from going to the water and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I guess a side note, I have grown up here my whole life. I go to the beach like often, but I have never surfed in my whole life. I know,
That's
sad fun fact. I'm surrounded by people that surf all the time. I'm
oh
just
yeah.
because I can't swim good, I don't surf. So that's a fun, sad fact about me. Living in the most beautiful place in the world, just not a surfer, not a swimmer.
That's okay. My first thought is you're gonna say that you couldn't surf. I can't surf either, but I know Hawaii is such a hot spot for surfing.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Not everyone is a great swimmer. But the water, the beach, just being able to be at the beach and take in like its
Oh,
beauty and
it's
everything that it
beautiful.
can provide you with, that's good enough, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
can you share with our listeners, where can they learn more about you, follow you?
Yeah, best place to interact with me is on Instagram. My username is the Credit Hacker. And if you have any questions or follow-ups, just DM me. If you're in Hawaii and looking for a good place to hang out or go to hotels, just DM me. I will make the time to just connect with you. Totally here to just help people. I do have a website if you want some other free resources, and it's thecreditcardhacker.com. But you can find that also on my Instagram page. So mostly everything's run through Instagram. But yeah, that's the best way you can reach out to me.
Perfect. And again, I'm going to link all of that in the show notes. Scott, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. It was so inspiring and informational. Not sure if that's a word, but it will be. And I want to thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope you have a great day and your podcast is awesome. I love that idea that you're just bringing together all these influencers, travel guys, and just making this available to everyone. So awesome. So thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Yeah, well, thank you for agreeing to come. And if anyone is interested in following the Travel Coach Network, we are on Instagram at the Travel Coach Network. Visit us at thetravelcoachnetwork.com. Give us a hello. Come join us in our free Travel Coach Network global community on Facebook. The link for all of that and for your free beginner's guide to travel coaching is in the show notes, along with all of Scott's links. If you know anyone interested in travel coaching, be sure to send them our way on our podcast. We truly appreciate it. And until next time, my fellow wanderers, bye for now.